Hey, I'm back with another video, and we'll be setting up React or create React app with Tailwind CSS. I initially planned a React app with Tailwind CSS prior to version 2.0, but now that version 2.0 is here, let's try it out with that. Now let's head on over to get started here with create React app. And how we can install that is npx create React app and our directory. Let's do that here. And I'm going to do npx create React, and I'm going to name it React app tw version 2 and have that install. That finished installed. Let's clear this. And we'll cd into React. And from here, let's open up VS Code. We'll open that up. Close this. Now we need to install a couple things. Now we're going to install, actually, let me open up. Let's go to Tailwind. Get started. Let's install this. Will be npm install -d Tailwind CSS, PostCss, and auto prefixer. Now I also want to install on change. I want PostCss -cli, and don't do post-cli. Sometimes I write post-cli, and that's not the package we're looking for. PostCss nested, and npm run all. I think that's everything. Let's check it out. It's all one big line. Tailwind, PostCss, auto prefixer, on change, post-cli, PostCss, PostCss CLI, PostCss nested, and npm run all. Let's install that. That's completed. Clear. Okay, let's go and create our source CSS file. I'm going to go in here, new folder, CSS. Actually, rename this to assets. And in here, new folder, CSS. And in here, I'm going to name it Tailwind Source.css. We're going to grab this here. This is our source CSS file. Next, we're going to do npx tailwind init-p. That's going to create both of those. In here, we're going to add our purge. So we need an object, and it's going to be mode layers. And here, content. And this is what we're going to search for when we're purging. We're going to do source slash, and we're going to look for our JS files. And we might as well, we're going to look for JSX. Going to look for TypeScript in case we're doing that. TSX within our public HTML. Okay, let's check all this. There, and no trailing slashes. Save that. And I'm going to add rec, and I'm going to do colors. And I'm going to extend the colors here. So let's do, I'm going to do blue. I'm going to do colors dot light blue. And I'm going to do gray colors. And this is going to replace the original ones. This is the extended palette. the light blue and the true gray, and I'm going to replace the light blue for the blue and true gray for the gray. Just so we can showcase some of the new features in 2.0. I'm going to save that. I think that's good. Now let's take a look at the PostCss. I don't like how this is, so I like using the array. And we do require Tailwind CSS, and we do require auto prefixer, and here require, I'm going to do, what is it, post CSS nested, and I need my quotes here, not nexted, nested. I think that's good. We can save that, close there. Okay, clear this. Now, let's take a look at our package.json. Close this. Let's go that. Let's take a look at serving up the React app. And we can do that by npm run start. This should pop up over here. Okay, so we have this here. And at least we know that the React app is working. I want to go and change a couple of these. And first thing we got to do is I'm going to do this p React. And I'm going to rename this one to p React. Let's save that. Cancel out of this. Clear. Now I want to go and create a Tailwind script. We're going to name it Start Tailwind. We're going to name it Start Tailwind. And here we're going to use PostCss. We're going to do source slash, what do we have here? Should rename this to assets. Source assets slash, what is it? CSS slash, and we need an output. And we're going to output it to source.css. Okay, let's save that, and hopefully this works. npm run start tailwind. Have an error here. Let's take a look. It looks like there's an error in the post config, and I missed a comma here. So that's formatted properly. Let's take a look again. It looks like it's working. Our CSS file is built. What I want to do here is we need to figure out a way to watch our script and then after that have React recompile or build the script within React, because we can't just add, I really wish we could just add our Tailwind plugin into their post CSS, and that would make it a lot cleaner and a lot easier, but they don't officially allow that. Let's go ahead and do another script here, and we're going to do a build script, or a watch script, I mean. Start, I'm going to do P, and my P prefix there is for parallel. So I'll explain that in a sec. Tailwind, and this is, if you're familiar with my other videos, I use onChange to watch. Tailwind, actually, just copy and paste this. I'm going to watch the Tailwind config, and I'm going to watch all of this. So any source and anything with a CSS. This is also CSS. We don't want that. We're going to exclude that from the watch. And we need the E-E flag. We're going to exclude this file, because if this changes, it's going to update that. This changes, and it's just going to be a complete loop over and over again. We do that, and we're going to do npm run start tailwind. Anytime it makes a change, we'll run this. Finally, we're going to have a start script. Start. In our start script, we're going to use npm run all start Tailwind. And we're going to do this, and we're going to we're going to log it. We can see what's going on, and we're going to run this in parallel. Start p. That's why I put these two the same with the p. So I'm going to run in parallel start and any of those scripts that start with start :p. Hopefully that all works. And let me reposition all this. We start, then it runs this one, and it runs these two in parallel. We're going to do npm run start. We have our start working, and this shouldn't be working right now, and we're just running that and those two, and now it's working. And if I make a change here, if I did, let's say, red colors, I don't know if there's another red. Sure, we'll say yellow. I don't know. We see that I made a change here to the Tailwind. This is watching, and it should rebuild. Let's close that. Next up, we're going to do our build script. And what we need to do is build. And this is going to be A. And I don't have this the same as B because I want these two to run sequentially, so one after another. And this is going to be build Tailwind. And this is going to be this. Actually, it's going to be this. Node env equals production. I'm going to run npm run start Tailwind. This is essentially using this with my node env production variable. And what I'm going to do here is build run -s, and this is a short form for run npm run all for sequential. And I'm going to do build, have that log. So I have my start script here. We were running, and that was working. And here's our build script. And I'm going to do npm run build. Hopefully this works. Here it's running the A, and now it's running the B, and it built our CSS. And here it's building for React. Now let's take a look. And these are our two source files for the CSS. And it looks like it purged everything because I don't actually have anything in our file. Let's clear this. So I have my scripts built. Let's actually test out and add it to our React. Now we haven't done that yet. We have here our Tailwind, and this is the index file, source, assets, CSS, Tailwind CSS. That should be there. That should be fine. Now let's go into app. I'm going to get rid of this. Get rid of that. Do div. And h1. We'll do Tailwind or React. Let's add a class here, and we'll do class name equals text 9XL font bold. Okay, save that. We'll do our start. Hopefully this will update. Doesn't like that. Can't resolve source assets Tailwind. Oh, because it's in source. We just need that. And that should recompile. It doesn't like a lot more stuff now. Okay, let's and rerun it. I had it imported wrong, and just changing that requires a full restart. So here's Tailwind. Let's make it a little bit nicer here. So flex, justify center, items, center, height screen, text, center. And let's see that. So there's that. React with Tailwind version 2.0. Let's go and create a component. I can do that by doing new folder, component. Here we'll do a new file called app.main.js. And we'll import this. Save that. And here we'll do h1. We have that. We have our component showing from here. Close that. Close that. We have our component showing here. And we're using this. So we can close this, and we'll just make this our main. Now what I want to do here is just go about creating some styles, and we'll see how that works. So I need C styles. I'm going to do an object. I'm going to create a container. I'm going to do card, title, subtitle. So this will be our component here. I'm going to do styles. This will be this dot C styles dot container. I'm going to have a div. That's not styles. It needs to be class name. This goes in here, and I'm going to have an h2. Call this create React app. This one will be with Tailwind CSS version 2.0. Save that. We'll need class name equals, and we'll need this dot C styles, and I'll do card. This will be title, and this will be subtitle. Okay, let's see what that looks like. We have undefined here. Might be because I need to restart that. Oh, gotta place it inside my export. That's why. And let's restart that. Now let's start styling it. I'm going to do flex, justify center, items center, h screen, bg blue 100. Card, I'll do text center, text blue 600, rounded large, bg gray 50. And they added a new 50 color kind of shade. Do padding 8, shadow small. This I'll do font bold, text 6XL, and here text 2XL, text blue 400. Save that. There we go. We got our React app with Tailwind CSS with just a quick component, and we styled it using styles there. That's kind of what I wanted to cover with React. Let's actually build it one more time. We'll do npm run build. Okay, so now React is building, creating an optimized, and making sure that our purge CSS is working. And I'm going to do serve build. Let's view source. React automatically kind of minifies everything. Let's inspect. Actually, here might be better to just go and look at the source over here. This is our CSS file, and let's do a search. I'm going to do blue, text blue, the text blue 200, text center. It's grabbing all of our utility classes like it should. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover with this create React app with Tailwind CSS setup. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the content so far. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment down below. To stay updated with the latest content from the channel, you can subscribe by clicking right here in the middle.